third example is Twitter. They showed his line, it becomes now, when Twitter started, I confess I made the classic mistake that I told all our reporters not to. For years I've been saying to them now, don't think of the Times and the Independent Telegraph as our main competitor set. They are in print, but there's a whole big world out there of things that may not strike you as news organisations or touching on our business, but absolutely are. And all these things, I think, absolutely impact on what we do and are, in the same ways as those three other examples that I've got are doing much the same thing as we're doing in different ways. But I didn't get Twitter. I thought, at some point we're too old to keep up with all this stuff, and Twitter just seems silly. And I haven't got time to add Twitter to all these other things. And of course that was completely wrong. And the thing to do, I've discovered in what we do, is to look at what the technology journalists do, because they're obviously paid to keep abreast of this stuff. That is Jemima Kish, who is our technology correspondent, and even Labour as we speak. If she is, she's not going to be twittering it. That's her number of followers. So she has 13,000 people following her, which I think is a remarkable figure. There was a man about 5 years ago, Mossberg, who was the technology correspondent of the Wall Street Journal, who was the first journalist to break free from his newspaper and say, my brand is as big as the newspaper brand. And we all thought that was a tremendously interesting thing. So he's there on Twitter, and he's only 400 ahead of Jemima as we speak. So if you ask Jemima how she uses Twitter, the first thing she says is her technical brain trust. So she literally, as she's writing pieces, she's using those 13,000 people and saying, I'm writing about this. Who knows about this European directive, or who can help me with this thing that you know more about than I do? She says it's an intelligent, personalized human search and is incredibly valuable. She says it's the best audience. She's got a core of very knowledgeable and constructive commenters and posts. She says it's different from that audiences that are elsewhere digitally. These are people who are not anonymous generally, or that they have chosen to be her. If she doesn't like them, she can block them. So it's a good audience in that sense. It's replacing RSS for some people. It's often the first place that I hear about breaking news, but it's like a personalized wire service. It's about establishing a feeding relationship. So I'm fairly uninhibited in business and customers, pregnancy, grumpiness, bad jokes, arguments with estate agents and the like. I think this is a pretty good way of breaking down some of these perceptions of journalists as being arrogant, detached, untrustworthy, and generally not very human. But if you think of that picture of the journalist on the other side of the wall, I think what Jemima is doing is taking that wall down and saying, actually, unlike you, I have these skills, you have those skills, I have this knowledge, you have that knowledge. We can put something together here that is very interesting. So she uses the audience to help her write pieces. When she's written them, she markets them. She tweets that she's written them, which brings the audience back into the piece. She is part of the Guardian technology unit. When I first started looking at this, the Guardian technology unit is a rather grand name for about 3 people who are our technology pod with some additional freelancers. That 2 months ago had 692,000 followers. That's double the circulation of the Guardian. Our following is 2.5 people. I checked today to see what that figure was. It's now got 917,000. So if you're asking about the future, I'm not just talking about journalism today, but if you're asking about the economic future of newspapers, I think that's a highly interesting figure. Nearly 1 million people have elected to follow the Guardian's technology coverage. The voluntary have arrived at that point. And I think that's it's probably the most interesting statistic of being. How do they use it? Well, here's one example from April 20th, Oracle had just bought Sun, and somebody said, well, wouldn't it be interesting to know about all these transactions involving Oracle and Sun? So they posted a Google document, and 2 hours later the work had been done for them. All that information was done by those followers who just went in and put in all the information. Next day, the Wall Street Journal did the same exercise. They did it eventually with people sitting in the office. Somebody went down. I should say they checked all the information before they published it, but it was all generated by the followers on Twitter. So as I said, the Wall Street Journal did exactly the same exercise, and essentially they were identical tables. That's how we reported G20 on Twitter. That was Paul Lewis, his personal feed on the day, which ended just before midnight with the professor dying. And that's how he used Twitter during the week after. So he was, as well as writing about it, he was going to this audience of people who weren't necessarily Guardian readers and saying, here I am, I'm a reporter, I'm interested in this, and bringing people back into the newspaper in order to see what was going on. People did this argument about, yeah, but I haven't got time to read it. If you're interested in the future of newspapers and follow those 4 people, they will tell you more or less all you need to know about the future of newspapers. They're all slightly obsessive about it. They're all up very early in the morning. By the time I get up, they have scoured the world's press for me. In the past, I would have paid £50,000 to a consultant to do that work for me. Here it all arrives free by the time I'm up for breakfast. So I'm trying to get everybody to Twitter on the Guardian. Again, I told this to an audience of journalists in Norway, and they said that you would personally, as editor-in-chief, if you edit all these tweets before you go out, you just tweet. And they said, well, that would never happen in Norway because the editor-in-chief would have to pass everything. So it's and there will be a disaster one day. You know, somebody will tweet something stupid, and then we'll all have a sort of gigantic impress. But meanwhile, I think it's an incredibly liberating, personalized experience in communication between the reporter and communities within the larger organization.